Welcome to LA Rider. I'm T.W. Robinson, and we're so glad you've joined us once again. This week, Tammy and I are back on the Natchez Trace. This time, we're looking for the king of rock and roll, that is. Now, anyone who knows me knows just how much I enjoy the Natchez Trace. Given a choice, I'll take the Trace every time. Although Tammy and I have both ridden the Trace dozens of times, this was the first time we rode together all the way to Tupelo. It was a perfect day to ride. Although temperatures had been hovering near 90, the Trace felt much cooler, probably because of all the trees and shade they provide, plus the lack of concrete everywhere. Even though the Trace passes near several urban areas, there's no development along the roadway. Makes it feel like a 444-mile ride in the country. Of course, we were only going about half that distance. Next stop, Tupelo. Tupelo is famous for a lot of things, but Elvis Presley put it on the map. You'll find Elvis just about everywhere you go in Tupelo, especially downtown. Just riding up and down Main Street, you can see just how much influence Elvis has had in this Mississippi city. But to really get the Elvis experience, you'll want to get off the bike, take a stroll, and check out the sights. Like Tupelo Hardware, where Elvis got his first guitar. His mom brought him to get a bike for his birthday, but Elvis wanted a .22 caliber rifle. They compromised on a guitar. Can't help but wonder how things would have turned out if Elvis had stuck to his guns.
Oh, look at the mural.
Oh, man, look at that.
And the pose. That's a signature Elvis.
Yeah, don't think I could have pulled that off, even if I could sing. There's a lot of Elvis downtown, but if you really want the whole story, you'll have to go where it all began.
Just amazing. When they say humble beginnings, they really mean humble beginnings.
That's very tiny.
Hand-built house.
Cute though.
It is cute,
It's like a
though.
dollhouse.
It is. It's like a whole little playhouse.
Yeah.
I think they lived here. The whole family lived here, and actually built by his dad, grandfather, and uncle. You know, hand built. But then was not able to keep up the payments on it. They had to take out a loan just to build this, and couldn't pay it back.
Right.
So they said they actually got evicted from the house he built.
Isn't that incredible?
We'll be the ones to break something on the Elvis property.
Right. All done.
Get me some iced tea
Yeah.
and sing a little one for the money, two for the show. I know you don't want me to sing. So the 13-year-old Elvis. You think it looks like him?
I do. I think it's a boyish face, but I see Elvis in it. I really do.
I'm having to use my imagination.
That's because you remember the fat Elvis.
That's part of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't
He's
know.
the one I like.
Well, me too. I mean, yeah, me too.
I know. I liked him any size. He could still sing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wise men say,
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
fools rushing, but I can't help
Falling in love with you.
Okay, that's enough.
Presley's music pushed traditional country towards a modernizing Nashville sound, which followed the pop, if not the rock and roll path he'd fashioned. You know, I don't know that I've ever heard the term hillbilly cat. Had you?
I haven't
I've
either.
not heard that.
That's neat.
Back in the day when you went to church, and I'm sure in Elvis's time, I mean, you wanted to go to church because you didn't have the creature comforts of today. You didn't have pastors worried about, oh, it's almost noon, let's go. You know, church could be an all-day affair. Then you'd have dinner on the ground, and oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
love that. That was always so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, modern times have changed us. Boomy! Oh, don't tear it up.
I can't get in.
Wow, what an amazing experience to be here at the birthplace of Elvis. What was your favorite part?
I think the house. I love that little house, and it's just amazing to me that his father built it or his grandfather built it. Somebody built that house, and it's so tiny. I can't imagine so many people living in that little bitty
A whole
house.
family living there. I
Yeah.
think for me it was probably the church, just because I know how much gospel music influenced
Right.
him, and then he went on to influence so many others for generations and generations. So this is quite an experience, but let's go see what else we can find.
All right. Tupelo resident Frank Spain built the city's first television station. He was an electronic whiz and a broadcast pioneer. He also had a thing for old cars, and his passion for collecting automobiles was the foundation for one of the city's biggest non-Elvis attractions. Wow. Look at this place.
Oh my gosh. The first thing you'll notice about the Tupelo Automobile Museum is that it is big, really big, 120,000 square feet big.
Stay in here all day.
I was just gonna say, how much time do we have? I know. More than 100 antique, classic, and collectible cars are on display here in chronological order, illustrating more than 100 years of automobile innovation. If you like cars, you'll love the Tupelo Automobile Museum. But be sure to wear some comfortable shoes. You'll have to do a lot of walking to see everything here. Pink and purple.
Yeah, this is questionable.
I just don't see it coming off the showroom floor with that color in 1932, but I may be wrong. Maybe Mary Kay started a little before we thought, or maybe that's where she got the idea for the pink Cadillacs.
My mother had a Corvair, and yes, and it was standard, and so I was learning to drive. My grandmother had, there was a big oak tree, and there was a circle drive around it, and of course the engine is in the back of a Corvair, so I would get in that and go around that circle. And of course the back end, you know, if you're going fast, it's going to slide.
Yeah.
I would go around that. I would slid around that. It's just, yes, it is amazing that I didn't wreck that car. Oh my God, because that would have been ugly. But man, that was some kind of fun.
The collection is valued at well over $6 million, and it's still growing. Spain's original collection numbered over 150. So over time, even more cars will be added to the display. Oh, by the way, there is an Elvis connection at the Tupelo Automobile Museum. The king liked to give cars to his friends, and there's a 1976 Lincoln Mark IV on display that Elvis gave to a Denver police captain. Not sure how it ended up here, but I guess it really couldn't be a Tupelo attraction without some reference to Elvis.
Whether you're an Elvis fan or not, take a ride to Tupelo. I think you'll enjoy your time there. Lots of fun things to do, and of course, spend some time on the trace too. It's always worth the ride. Well, I don't know about you, but spending a few days in Tupelo has inspired me to stay on the Elvis Trail. Think I'll take a ride to Memphis. In the meantime, see you next week with another edition of LA Rider. Remember, we haven't been everywhere, but it's on our list.